Hey, Liverpool One Church, man, I'm so glad that you are connecting into a life group. Huge thank you, as always, to every single one of our amazing life group hosts and leaders. We're so glad that you are just opening up your homes and spaces in order to create some Jesus-centered conversation. Man, on Sunday, we had a great day in church, and we've really been carrying on this theme about how we love the house of God. And there's such a difference, isn't there, between liking somewhere or attending somewhere and actually moving into the phase of loving somewhere. You know, you can like someone, but the difference between liking and loving is immense. And it's exactly the same in the church too. And the church was never about the bricks and the mortar and the walls and the spaces, but the church is all the people that are within it. So in Psalm 122, where David writes, and it says this, he goes, I was glad when they said to me, let's go unto the house of the Lord. He was in essence saying, I was so glad when people said to me, should we go to church? Should we all get involved in just a local church? I think that that's how we would read that today. And we're in a season right now that's building up to our legacy offering that's going to be taking place on Sunday, the 29th of October. It's the last Sunday in October where we're going to be receiving our pledge cards. And this offering is really about three things. It's about the global and local initiatives that we do as a church, and we spoke about them on Sunday. And then, of course, it's for our church home here at Liverpool One and for everything that God has placed on our hearts in terms of a new vision for a new building that we're just on the journey with. And let me just say it like this. We understand that Rome wasn't built in a day, but the last thing that we want to do as leaders in the church is look back in X number of years' time and say, man, we should have turned the church and put them on this journey sooner. The reality of it is that we're ram-packed across all three services and we are almost out of space. And what a blessing that is. But at the same time, now is the time to grow. And we feel like the word of the Lord is it's time to build the war chest financially. And the reason why we're doing that is because I know you're a man of faith. You're a lady of faith. But unfortunately, the bank aren't. The banks are people who look at liquidity and assets and cash in the bank. That's why we're building a war chest in preparation for God doing an absolute miracle in our church. And we're convinced that if we do what we can do, then He will step in and do that which only He can do. I want to just read to you a verse taken from Isaiah 58. And the prophet writes this to us, and I think that this is a word in season for us as a church family. But it reads this: if you are generous with the hungry and start giving yourselves to the down and out, your lives will begin to glow in the darkness, and your shadowed lives will be bathed in sunlight. Who doesn't want that? I will always show you where to go. I need God's direction in my life just as much as you need Him in yours. I'll give you a full life in the emptiest of places. Isn't that an incredible word for us? Is that even though your jar might look and feel empty right now, but He can create life and a full life in the emptiest of places. He'll give you firm muscles and strong bones. Amen to that. It says that you'll be like a well-watered garden, a gurgling spring that never runs dry. And you'll use the old rubble of past lives to build anew and rebuild the foundations from out of your past. You'll be known as those that can fix anything. The truth is, I believe that that's the kind of church that the Lord is building through you and me together here at Liverpool One. And my question for you to consider as we start in our groups tonight is this. I know that you like the church, but do you love the church? And what do you think the difference is between liking and loving the church? Let's get honest. Let's get authentic. Let's take our masks off. What's the difference for you between liking the church and loving the church? And hey, as we get ready for our legacy offering, we're not asking you to give anything. We're simply asking that you would talk to God about whether or not you should give. And then we're asking you to just be obedient, to do whatever He tells you. So what's the difference between liking and loving the local house? Have a great week, guys. Can't wait to see you on Sunday.